In the last lesson, we learned about how we can use mapping diagrams to figure out whether a relation is a function or not. In this one, we're going to learn a couple other ways. In the last video, we saw how to write out our domain and range from a relation, and we're going to do the same thing here. So just remember that every first number in your ordered pair is a value in your domain, and the second value in your ordered pair belongs in your range. So let's see what happens here. Another important thing to remember is never repeat a number. So for our domain, our first number is 36. Then we've got 49, 64, 81, and then I have 36 again. And this is what you want to check. Does it go to two different numbers? And it does. So this is not going to be a function. This is actually a pretty easy way to check. If your domain values start to repeat, then it's usually not a function. Now, if it does map to the same number, however, it still would be a function, but that doesn't happen very often. So it asked us to explain why this one was or was not a function. This is not a function since the domain elements pair with more than one range element. Why don't you try the next one on your own and tell me whether you think it's going to be a function or not. Let's write out our domain. We'll start with the negative 64, negative 27, negative 8, negative 1, 0, 1, 8, 27. Notice nothing's repeating here, and positive 64. Okay, so since nothing repeated, that means that each value in the domain has a unique output partner, a unique range value. So this is a function. So for our explanation, this is a function since each domain element pairs with only one range element. The final way we need to determine whether something is a function or not is by looking at the graph of the values. When we talk about domain and range, a function can only have one output. That's your y value for each unique input. So y values are your range and x values are your domain. So once again, let's be clear. Y on a graph, that's your range. Domain, those are your x values. And we did touch on this in the last lesson, 4.1. So we can see we have x here, we have y here. So x are our horizontal values, y are our vertical values. You can see I've got a vertical line that I've created here that I can drag along my graph. So the graph I'm talking about is this curved value here. And you've seen this before in lesson 4.1. But now I'm going to drag this line across. And anytime this line hits more than one point, so right here, if I look up and down, right there is where it intersects this curved one, only one time. But when I drag it further down, you can see that right here, and in several other places as well, right here, it intersects my graph right here, and it intersects it right here down there as well. And this happens over and over again. So if my vertical line intersects my graph more than one place, this one is not a function. Let's take our vertical line over to the next graph. And you can see no matter where I drag it, it's only going to intersect, and my graph is this sharp point here. It's only going to intersect it at only one value at a time. So if I drag it over here, right in the middle maybe, it only intersects it right there. If I drag it over here, it's only intersecting one spot at a time. So this one is going to be a function. Before I try this last one out, I want you to see it. What do you think? Do you think this last one is going to be a function or is it not? Hopefully you said not. So as I drag this line across, once again, you can see it's only going to ever hit. Basically, I'm looking to see, if we take a look at number 4, it kind of folds onto itself. So it kind of folds on top of itself. This one never does this. It never folds back on top of itself vertically. This one, I guess if you go this direction, but we don't care about that. We don't want it to fold on top of itself vertically. Horizontally, that's fine. So this last one is a function.